Good morning, students. Welcome to another episode of PUC first year chemistry. In the previous class, we have discussed about the nomenclature of saturated hydrocarbons, substituted alkanes, and the alkanes which have got branched substituents in them. In today's class, we will be having a discussion on nomenclature of cyclic organic compounds and more precisely for your syllabus you are going to study saturated cyclic compounds. That is cyclic alkanes. Now, in the first episode of this IUPAC nomenclature, I had referred you that the IUPAC name contains a prefix, okay? Then it has got an infix, then the root word, and then we have got suffix. Further, the suffix divided into primary and secondary, that is a different part. Now, you need to concentrate on this particular term, that is infix. The infix gives you an idea about the nature of the compound. Whether the compound is a cyclic compound, whether it is a spiro compound, whether it is a bicyclic compound, this infix will give you an idea. So the only point what you have to remember for the IUPAC nomenclature of cyclic compounds is you have to apply all the law, all the rules similar to that of the open chain compounds, but you need to add one word, that is cyclo, before writing the name of the compound. Before writing the root word, you have to add the term cyclo to that. Rest, all the rules, all the laws are same. They have to be applied in the same fashion. That is, you have to select the longest possible chain containing maximum number of substituents. You have to number the chain in such a way that the carbon that has got substituent gets the lowest number. Then if there are more than two substituents of different types acquiring the same position, when numbered from the either ends, you have to follow the alphabetical order. If there are two similar substituents present at different positions, then you can use numerical terms like di for 2 times, tri for 3 times, tetra for 4 times, etc. Okay, so all those rules are same. The only change what you have to remember and know is that you have to place a word cyclo before writing the root word. So let's have some examples to understand the concept more clearly, more precisely. Let me first give you a basic example to understand the difference between a normal open chain compound and the cyclic compound. Say I have got a normal compound of the type CH3, single bond, CH2, CH2 and CH3. Without any branching, I have kept a plain organic alkane. Okay, the name of the compound would be but, because there are 4 carbon atoms and it is ANE, it is butane. Okay. Now using the same 4 carbon atoms, I can have a compound of the type CH2, single bonded CH2, then it is a CH2 again, it's a CH2 and the terminal ends are joined. Now based on the number of carbon atoms, you can just count from any position 1, 2, 3 and 4, hence the root word would be but. There are no double bonds, it is ANE, butane. But you have to place the word cyclo before the word but. Before the root word or prior to the root word, you have to place the word cyclo because it is a cyclic compound. This is the only thing what you have to do and nothing else. Just place the word cyclo. Let's quote some other examples with substituents, etc. So let me use a bond line formula to indicate a diagram or a structure. say I have got a compound like this with a branching somewhere over here. Okay, what would be the name of this compound? So first you have to look at the cycle, and rule of numbering will tell you that the carbon containing the substituent or having the substituent should get the lowest number. So this is the carbon having the substituent. So let me start the numbering from here. This will be 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4 and 5. Hence the name of the compound would be pent. It is A-N-E, pentate. Before the root word pent, I have to place it as cyclo because it is a cyclopentate, cyclic compound. Now at position 1 there is a methyl group. So this becomes 1-methyl cyclopentate. 1-methyl cyclopentate. Let's go with some other example. So I've got a compound like this, a bond line formula. You need to first look at the cycle. Okay. So then first let me count the number of carbon atoms in cycle. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It is hex. Definitely A-N-E hexane. It is a cyclohexane. Clear? Now I have got one methyl group over here and the other one being an ethyl. Now when I have got a cyclic compound and two different substituents, I have to always go by the alphabetical order. So the carbon on which the ethyl group is attached will get 1. This should be 2 and this should be 3. I have to number in the anti-clockwise direction and not in the clockwise direction. Let me answer why. Note, if I number from the anti-clockwise direction, the position of methyl will be 3. But if I go by the clockwise direction, this is 2 then, this is 3, this is 4 and this is 5. The rule says that the substituents or the locand should have the lower number. Hence the right answer to this is 1-ethyl, 3-methyl cyclohexane. And if I would have written the answer 1-ethyl, 5-methyl cyclohexane, and if I could apply the lowest sum rule over here, look at this, 1 plus 3 happens to be 4 and 1 plus 5 happens to be 6. According to the lowest sum rule, the name of the organic compound which has got multiple substituents, when the locands are added, should give you the lower number. Hence this is the correct answer and this is the wrong answer. Alright? Let's go with some other example. I hope you are understanding this. Take a screenshot for a better understanding. So in this compound, I have got two methyl groups present on the same carbon and I have got one ethyl group present on the different carbon. Now this compound is a cyclopentate. You can just straight away say that because the ring contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbon atoms. Definitely this is a cyclopentate. No worries in answering that. Now, whether the carbon with the two methyl groups should get the number 1 or whether the carbon with an ethyl group should get the number 1. Here there will be a confusion. Now we work out ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, we have to go by the alphabetical order. No. A carbon which has got maximum number of substituents on it should be given the lower number. Nodi. ಈಗ ಈ carbon ಗೆ there are two substituents, whereas the other carbon there is only one substituent, whatever may be the substituent. So a carbon with many number of substituents will get the lower number. So this is 1, this is 2 and this happens to be 3. Hence the right answer for this compound would be 1, 1 dimethyl. Okay, 3 ethyl. While writing the name, you have to follow the alphabetical order. So I have written 3-ethyl, 1,1 dimethyl cyclopentane. Whereas if you had written the answer 1-ethyl 3,3 dimethyl cyclopentane, your answer would have been wrong. Why? Again, if you want to then apply the lowest sum rule over here. So if you apply 3 plus 1 plus 1, 5, 1 plus 3 plus 3 is 7. So this has got a lowest sum rule accounting to 5 and this is accounting to 7. So you have to select the lowest sum. That's why answer A is correct and B is wrong. Let me go with one example, probably the last example of my session. I have got a compound like this. Now, when this type of a compound is given where the side chain appears to be too long, you have to always give a count. Look at the cyclic compound 1, 2, 3 and 4. So my cycle contains 4 carbon atoms. Whereas my side chain, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Side chain has got 5 carbon atoms. Now, according to the IUPAC nomenclature, the parent chain must contain maximum number of carbon atoms. So applying that basic law, I can tell that the side chain happens to be the parent chain and the cyclic compound is a substituent. I hope I am clear. Next it is numbering. Once you know that the side chain is your parent chain, what kind of a numbering is done? The numbering is done in such a way that the carbon containing the substituent get the lowest locand. So you will start your numbering from here. This will be 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4 and this is 5. So the name is, it is definitely pentane because it has got 5 carbon atoms. And the first carbon atom, what is attached? A cyclic butane is attached, hence we call it as cyclobutyl at position 1. So it is 1 cyclobutyl pentane. It is 1 cyclobutyl pentane. I hope I am clear with this. Right. We'll go with one more example. Now if you look at this example, the side chain has got 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms, whereas your ring also has got 4 carbon atoms. The cycle has got 4 carbon atoms. The side chain also has got 4 carbon. Now, when the number of carbon atoms are same, how to select the parent? Again, follow the first rule itself. The rule says the longest chain containing maximum number of substituents. Now if you look at the cycle, it has got only one substituent, and if you look at the side chain, it has got one, and this is the second substituent. So your side chain becomes the parent chain. And numbering is done in such a way that the locands are of lower number. So we will number from here then 1, 2, 3 and 4. Hence the answer for this particular example would be 1 cyclobutyl 2 methyl, it is butane. Guys, please take a screenshot and understand these problems, though they are not mentioned in the textbook, but they are very, very important problems for your examination. So with this, I end my session today. In the next episode of mine, we are going to discuss the IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds containing functional groups. Till then, take care. Bye.